Welcome, you're watching Vox News, your daily news updates with Rita Kamkumo. Our headlines today: Ghana President Nana Akufo-Addo files his candidacy for the December presidential election. Nigerian musician Naira Marley cancels his planned protest over police brutality after chatting with the Nigerian police. The Economic Community of West African States removes the sanctions imposed on Mali following the August military coup. Our top story today: Ghana President Nana Akufo-Addo on Tuesday submitted his nomination forms to the Electoral Commission ahead of the presidential election planned for the 7th of December.
On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome His Excellency the President and His Excellency the Vice President and all of you to the Commission this morning. Indeed, this is the very first time the sitting President of the Republic has visited the Commission to submit his nomination forms.
If cleared, President Akufo-Addo, who is nearing the end of his first term in office, would lead the ruling New Patriotic Party as a presidential candidate for the fourth time since 2008.
As part of the Commission's efforts to ensure a transparent, credible, fair and yet accountable process, the Commission has developed a detailed checklist that embodies the criteria to be satisfied by the presidential candidates as prescribed by law. We are confident that the 5-day period provided for the filing process, as opposed to the 2 days provided in previous nomination processes, will allow enough time for presidential candidates to correct any errors identified in their forms. We believe that this would help eliminate the tension and rancor that characterized previous nomination processes.
President Akufo-Addo on Tuesday said he wants to be re-elected on merit and not through a rigged election that did not reflect the will of the people of Ghana. In Nigeria, Amnesty International on Tuesday said that Nigerian authorities have failed to tackle impunity enjoyed by the controversial Special Anti-Robbery Squad. After a series of complaints and outbursts over harassment and abuse perpetrated by officers, the Nigerian police last week announced a ban on stop-and-search operations by the special unit. Following the ban, the Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Maigari, also came to announce an investigation into infractions by the police unit. But according to the director of Amnesty International Nigeria, Osai Ojigo, this move is another lame attempt in that division of the police department, which she said is known for the widespread torture and other ill treatment of Nigerians. She stressed that officers must be held accountable for their actions and face disciplinary or criminal punishment. Meanwhile, Nigerian rapper Aziz Fashola, popularly known as Naira Marley, on Tuesday called off his planned protest against the controversial Special Anti-Robbery Squad, whose officers are accused of harassment and abuses towards civilians. In a tweet, the rapper stated that there are a lot of changes being made at the police unit, hence his decision to call off the protest. The Nigerian police tweeted on Tuesday to inform the public that it will be having a live Instagram chat with the musician to discuss the concerns of Nigerians on the matter and other urgent issues. In Mali, the Economic Community of West African States on Tuesday lifted the sanctions it had imposed on the country after the August military coup. West African leaders indicated that the decision came after the country returned to civilian rule with the appointment of an interim leader and transition government. The sanctions imposed included border closures and a ban on commercial trade and financial flows with the other member states. Leaders of the West Africa regional bloc also called for the release of both civilian and military officers detained during the coup and the dissolution of the military junta. In Ethiopia, lawmakers ruled on Tuesday that federal officials should break contact with leaders of the northern Tigray region after they ignored Addis Ababa's federal decision to postpone national elections due to the coronavirus pandemic. Last month, the Tigray People's Liberation Front unilaterally staged parliamentary elections and formed its own electoral commission, a decision federal officials called illegal. The House of Federation, the upper house of parliament, therefore ruled that the federal government should sever any kind of relationship with the Tigray Regional State Assembly and the region's highest executive body. The federal government will, however, continue to work with local institutions in Tigray to provide essential services to the region. In Senegal, thousands of members of the powerful Islamic Murid Brotherhood attended the Great Mosque of Touba for the annual Grand Magal pilgrimage, the first large-scale gathering in the country since the coronavirus outbreak.
We follow the instructions given by the Caliph, which are wear a mask and queue up for prayers in an orderly manner. There is no real difference. I would even say that there are more people than last year.
It's pure joy. We often say that Touba always has the solution. We feared that the Magal would not take place. But in the end, the faithful came en masse, and there is almost no room left.
This year, in spite of the pandemic, the Magal has grown. We thank God. Serene Toba has blessed us. We respect what the doctors have said. We are wearing our masks and are using hydroalcoholic gel.
Although hand gel, face masks and paper bags for storing shoes were handed out at the entrance of the building as part of the measures introduced to counter the virus, physical distancing proved impossible to enforce due to large crowds. Meanwhile, in Senegal, the authorities on Tuesday reported that at least 16 people have died in traffic accidents over recent days as Muslim pilgrims were going to attend the annual Grand Magal pilgrimage at the Great Mosque of Touba. The fatalities were reported in 113 road accidents, according to the authorities, who said that they made nearly 200 interventions since Saturday. Thousands of pilgrims departed Touba when the event ended this Wednesday morning. Last year, at least 14 pilgrims died in road accidents while heading to or returning from the Grand Magal of Touba, considered the largest Muslim gathering in West Africa. In Egypt, in the poor city of Damasha, some families fear that 15 of their sons are among the dead migrants who have recently embarked on the dangerous journey to Europe via war-torn Libya.
The problem that is in our village is that we had 39 migrants on Saturday. On Sunday, we knew that they arrived to Libya, and on Monday, we were told that the boat sank, and that's when the smuggler living in the village escaped. In Libya, there are gangs that exploit people. There is sexual exploitation there. There is a young man in the village that was accused of killing a Libyan man for sexual reasons as he tried to assault him sexually.
We received pictures of 20 people who are still alive, and we were told that 17 were dead after their names were published on the internet. For those who are still alive, we don't know anything about them. We haven't received one word from them to know who is still alive and who is dead. What is their fate? We want the bodies of those who died to bury them here. It's unacceptable that they are buried elsewhere after all they went through.
Thousands of desperate African migrants have perished in the Mediterranean Sea while attempting to get to Europe. On the security front, the United Nations Office of Counter-Terrorism will open an office in Morocco's capital city, Rabat. The hub is intended for counter-terrorism training and cooperation on the continent. An agreement was signed remotely on Tuesday by the Moroccan Foreign Minister Nasser Bourita and the United Nations counter-terrorism chief Vladimir Voronkov. The deal positions Morocco as the leading African country to fight against terrorism. The office is expected to strengthen member states through development training programs on counter-terrorism. Morocco's foreign minister said such an office comes at a time Africa is facing an increase in terrorist acts. In Sudan, the much-publicized trial of former President Omar al-Bashir resumed on Tuesday after most lawyers and other defendants walked out of the courtroom in protest at alleged bias on the part of the Prosecutor General.
An objection was lodged by some lawyers that the Prosecutor General personally submitted a speech because before he assumed the position of the Prosecutor General, he submitted a report on the same subject and the same number, and he was a complainant in his personal capacity, and therefore it's not possible to combine the two attributes, Prosecutor General and complainant. Some lawyers saw that this position towards the judge was being abusive and deviating from the law. They thought that they would take a stand by withdrawing from this session only. Therefore, a large number of defense attorneys withdrew to defend this session, and the session continued where the Prosecutor General presented his speech, and then the judge set another session for October 20th for the continuation of this trial.
We demand real justice, and a case of this magnitude is a challenge for the Sudanese judiciary.
The former president and 27 others stand accused of plotting the 1989 Islamist-backed military coup that brought him to power. Tuesday's hearing was the sixth since the trial began in July, with proceedings having been repeatedly delayed. That's it for today. Thank you for watching Vox News.